We're in incredible times. I have never seen this much anticipation, talk, speculation surrounding the Bitcoin Spot ETF approval that is seemingly impending by some sources and ultimately doomed by others. So you have the wide range and the whole spectrum of if this thing's going to get approved or not. You have major players like BlackRock. BlackRock, for those of you who don't know, is a hedge fund that has about $6.6 to $7 trillion under management. That is an unbelievable sum of money. They are a massive player in the world. And the whales that you think of right now in Bitcoin are going to be freaking guppies when the likes of BlackRock and others get involved. So before I get going, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. Do your own research. Make sure you know what you're getting into. Crypto is a very sketchy place. And one thing I'm going to talk about very briefly before we get into that SEC stuff is what my strategy is. Well, I've been playing in the DeFi for a couple of years now, getting my ass handed to me in certain rug plays and things that look like long-term plays, investments and all these things. And I'm really switching over to more of a trading mind. I used to trade futures and options way back in the day. And I'm going to take some of those strategies and apply them to crypto. I do trade with, and I'll just go ahead and show you this currently. I trade with a lot of different bots. This is the one that I got into crypto trading with. It's called Eazybot. It's very easy to get going. Now, this is risky stuff. Make sure you know what you're getting into. Not a financial advisor. Don't even do this. I'll put a referral code down below. You can register. And I'm not telling you to put money in, but you can register just to look at all the resources. You don't have to buy anything. You get 2 free bots for 45 days to check it out and trade with it if you like. But don't do that because I'm doing it. Let me show you what else I'm doing. That's what this channel is all about. Now, let's get into the SEC stuff. So the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, who will make that decision on the ETF here, hopefully in the next couple of days. I think they're due by the 9th, which is Tuesday, January 9th. This is the SEC investor Twitter page. Okay. And on this page, about 7 hours ago, they linked to this right here, FOMO. It says Security SEC Investing Resolution 5. Say no go to FOMO. Fear of missing out. Just because others might buy a particular investment doesn't mean it's the right opportunity for you. Learn more about finding out what's right for you and your investing goals. Okay. And look, on the 4th one, this was on the 5th, do your own research on any investment opportunity. On the 4th, they put out, take our monthly investing quiz. So this might just be happenstance. It might not coincide with the ETF whatsoever, but there's a lot of speculation that this article right here that was put out on March 7th of 2022, so almost 2 years ago, there's a lot of speculation that they're hinting that an impending approval is coming. Say no to FOMO. If you look through here, it says at some point we've all felt FOMO, fear of missing out, whether it involves trying to get a reservation at the trendiest new restaurant or the hottest ticket on Broadway. Everyone has experienced some kind of fear of missing out on something. And what they're saying is with this spot Bitcoin ETF possible approval, don't go running out and throwing your money at something you don't really know what you're getting into. This makes sense. This is good advice. All right. Trends and influencers. I'm not an influencer. But trends. We've all seen the increased interest in online investing and the explosion of digital assets and meme stocks. Got it. Understanding these kinds of investments may seem overwhelming. It is. That's why you got to do your own research. Digital assets, including cryptocurrencies, coins, and tokens like those offered in ICOs or initial coin offerings. Meme stocks may be based on internet popularity and social views instead of traditional stock values, such as company performance. A meme stock is, a meme stock or a meme coin is literally has nothing real behind it. It's just because it's popular, it gets bought up and bought up and bought up, and the price runs up until it falls, or if it falls, or maybe it sticks around. An NFT has a unique code, right? We know, and let's not forget about NFTs. So all these things, it's saying like, look, this is what we're talking about. And there's a lot of people out there talking about these things. If you go on the internet, if I did a quick search on YouTube There's Joe Knows the Cryptos. If I search altcoins on YouTube, what am I going to find? A lot of stuff talking about what's going to 5 coins set to explode in 2024. You just keep going down here. 30. Don't be fooled. Okay, a lot of stuff on here. Top altcoins to buy right now, right? Don't miss these pumps. Early buyers will make millions. 7 million % returns. Look, this is what they're talking about. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things on the internet. They're trying to get viewers. I would love you to watch me in my journey, but I'm not willing to say things I can't really back up logically, statistically, empirically, because that way I'm just shilling nonsense to you. You'll never see me say this coin's going to go to the moon. I will never say that because I don't know. Now, I might say this coin has a high propensity or possibility of increasing in value, but even that you've never heard me say. I will tell you that I do believe long-term Bitcoin is a decent play. How much is it going to go up? I don't know. I do fear a Bitcoin rug pull by the SEC. But if that's the case, there'll be a lot of lawsuits if they've drug everyone this far. But this is all speculation. No one really knows what's going to happen on Tuesday. You can say because they filed these forms. Well, they had to file those forms in order to get the possible approval. You can say because they put out this thing about FOMO, they were warning people in advance that if there is this approval, don't just throw money at it and you don't know what you're throwing money at. But that's good advice no matter what. So market swings. These things have big market swings. It says, where does it say? We've seen high highs and low lows. That's right. These kind of investments may be appealing at first, but once the novelty wears off, some investors may decide to move on to something else, right? Something else, which may cause the investment to take a downturn. If people are selling more than people are buying, the price will go down because you need to lower your price to find a buyer that will be willing to take it at that price. So how would you feel if your investment lost 20, 30, or even 50% in a single day? Look, the wild swings that we have in crypto, and there are wild swings, and those wild swings allow for wild returns. That's why people invest in this is high risk stuff. If there's no risk or low risk, there's a very low or no reward. I can hold dollars in the bank, but dollars eventually, as Warren Buffett says, every dollar will go to zero eventually. He says something like that, so I'm not quoting. But a dollar, if you leave it in the bank long enough, will have zero value or very, very little, very, very, very little value. Crypto could be the same thing, but in the meantime, these high swings of volatility mean there's high profitability potential, not absolute, no guarantees. This is a very risky place. It says, so the best way to protect yourself during market swings is to create an investment portfolio that has a mix of assets such as stocks, bonds, and cash. Doesn't say crypto in there, does it? So anyway, what should you fear missing out on? What should you fear? Paying off credit cards or high interest debt is also something you should work into your plan. If you have a lot of debt, you shouldn't be investing in crypto. Now, if you hope that your crypto play will pay off your debt, I get it. A lot of people do hope that. But hope is not a good strategy. Hope is not a good strategy. You also don't want to miss out on the power of compounding. Compound interest allows you to earn interest. Yeah, these are all good things. Willpower. I love this. All right, so this is pretty humorous. While FOMO may always be part of our lives, it doesn't have to control your life. Do not let FOMO control your life. Use your strongest willpower to steer clear of it. Say no-go to FOMO. Stick with your long-term plan and don't make investment decisions based on fear of missing out. This is good advice. I will hand it to the people at the SEC that their intentions are good because people do invest in things they have no idea what they're investing in. They just know everyone else is doing it. They don't want to miss out, so they get involved. Now, I don't know what's going to happen on Tuesday with the SEC. Now, people say that they're too far into it to back out now. And if you look at the players involved, I mean, you're talking about some of the biggest players on the planet that are getting involved in this stuff. And that's a lot of money. And I'm not saying that, the SEC is above reproach, apparently. I'm not saying that, but I don't think they can be bought. I think they have a goal. And if you go onto the SEC's website without getting too deep, this year let's go onto their website. Should we do that real quick? Let me, while I'm talking here, I know you can't see this yet, but let's go into their website. I'll show you something that I found fascinating on the SEC's website. Oh, enforcement regulation. They talk about the billions of dollars. Well, let's see, that's not it. SEC complaints. They talk about the billions of dollars that they have given out in fines, or I forget what they call them this year. And they said $5 billion they've levied out as regulatory repairing costs or whatever they call them, and they've given $1 billion back to the consumer. Well, that's good. Billion back. But what happened to the other $4 billion? Maybe they haven't received that yet. I don't know. But the SEC makes, they are self-regulated, not self-regulated, self-funded. They're not funded by taxpayer dollars. So they exist by levying these fines upon different things to make sure that they're compliant. And that's how they raise revenue. They raise revenue by levying fines, and that's how they pay for themselves. So their job is they're very highly compensated or motivated to find things to fine so that they stay there. And they're looking at crypto right now. I'm sure they're going, we can just fine the heck out of them, but man, we could bring them into the fold and fine them, and fine them. And then, we got another, and I also have said this a million times before, not a million, but that's obviously an exaggeration, but I've said it before, every dollar you have to put somewhere, you get to make a choice with that dollar. You can put it in stocks, you can put it into bonds, you can keep it as cash. And crypto is a competitor of those things. And the stock market, the stocks in Wall Street is where the SEC makes the majority of their money. And if you're competing with Wall Street, that's not good for the SEC. Now, you can argue with me and you can say that's not true, Joe. They're just trying to protect the consumer. I don't buy it, because if they wanted to protect the consumer, there's other means to do that. You can regulate it differently, or you can tell crypto, the exchanges and stuff, the rules in which they should abide by, instead of making them blindly follow their made up guidelines and then get whacked with a regulatory hit and out of the blue and not realize you did anything wrong, which is how I feel it's going, because the SEC, in my opinion, looks at crypto as a competitor to where they get the majority of their money, which is Wall Street and stocks. Just saying, and bonds and things like that. All right, so all in all, it's going to be real interesting on Tuesday to see what happens. I'm heavily weighted towards approval. That's what my gut feeling is. Facts and data on this one, I've heard that they're going to push it again to March. What is Bitcoin going to do? This is heavy speculation. I think that some of the run up has been built in for an approval. If we don't get an approval, I believe, this is not financial advice, this is just my gut feeling backed in very little fact other than what other people have said and what I've read. I feel like it will pull back if we don't get that approval. Okay, that makes sense. I think if we get the approval, I think there's going to be a mad rush in, like there is on a lot of initial, IPOs of stocks. There's a mad rush of money in, and then it runs it up, and then it kind of pulls back a little bit. But I think long term, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. I can pull up graphs and show you I call it the Illuminati, the fetching. I can't even remember the name of the. It doesn't matter. The point is that you can look at graphs all day and you can make speculation based on, we got a wedge. It's either going to go up or down. Well, of course it's only going to go up or down. And if it goes to this level, it's going to go there. Dude, you don't know. You don't know. You can speculate. You can look at trends. I get it. I've looked at all the graphs. I've studied this for decades. And, you can look back and say, clearly this. But at the end of the day, when you're here, you don't know what here is going to look like. And I don't care what past performance. It's not indicative of future results. All right. I'm going to slow down for a second. Tuesday is a big day. We'll see what happens. I still think it's probably going to get pushed. That's like I think it'll get approved eventually. Is this the date? It's already been pushed. Is this the date? I hope so. But there's a small piece of me that says it's going to get pushed. And people call me an idiot. Oh, this is built in. It's baked in. It's a given. It's 100%. But I don't know. Something in me says that there's a small chance that it's going to get pushed, or I don't think it'll get outright denied. I just don't think they've come this far to get outright denied. that's a lot of words. I'm going to end it there. Don't forget to catch me on Sunday for the weekly update. That's tomorrow. Like, subscribe, share, do all those things, and I will catch you next time.